Say Shana, Africa, say it louder. Say Shana. Salam alaikum, assalamu alaikum, salam alaikum, assalamu alaikum, salam alaikum, assalamu alaikum, salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
United we stand, divided we fall. All we need is freedom. All we need is love. Free Africans free. Free Africans free.
Free from slavery. Free from slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free yourself from mental slavery. Free from slavery. Free from slavery. Yeah.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, African one. If you wanna be free, the most simplest one in the world. Get yourself the better with the reggae music coming straight to you from the one of the most peaceful man. So many lying down on the streets, whatever them with their dancing at the ends. Get yourself the most free time I preach about freedom. Preach about freedom.
We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war. We're here to speak the word. We're here to stop the war.
Better look on the street as a lesson, youth. Stop violence as a lesson. You have to listen and be a man. The music we are doing is not a music for fun. We are preaching, hear it loud and clear. Hey, night and day, no slipping it out. Better preach, let the people hear. Better preach, let the blind feel. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of freedom and love. The sound of African one love. In the production. Ethiopia. Salam alaikum. Morocco. Salam alaikum. Libya. Salam alaikum. Tunisia. Salam alaikum. Nigeria. Salam alaikum. Niger. Salam alaikum. South Sudan. Salam alaikum. Sudan. Salam alaikum. South Africa. Salam alaikum. Africa one salam alaikum. African one salam alaikum. Let's unite and be free. Salam alaikum. United we stand. Salam alaikum. Divided we fall. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you tune in today. Welcome to Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. This episode is extraordinary. It was not done like the way that we are doing it. It is Monday today, August 8, 2022. All of you have heard about the government extension. The government of Kirmayar is giving itself another time to continue the suffering of people of South Sudan. I welcome all of you tonight, and I want you please to share the video and also prescribe our channel on the YouTube, John Cormayol. So many South Sudanese who are not aware that we are going live tonight, they can be able to watch. As you see on the screen, the consequences of South Sudan government extension. What are the consequences? Well, they have been getting free ride for a very long time. They have extensions several times. From 2011, upon we gained our independence, we got it extended to continue until 2015. Then same government created a war in 2013. In 2015, signed peace agreement that President Kiir did not want to implement. And he quoted former Sudan President Jafar Mohammed Nimeri saying that this peace agreement is not a Quran or a Bible. He was quoting Sudanese President Jafar Mohammed Nimeri when he refused to implement fully the Addis Ababa Agreement in 1972. And again, the third time, peace deal was signed in September 12, 2018. And we predicted that actually it's not going to be implemented. And it was not meant to be implemented because they failed to deliver what they supposed to do to the people of South Sudan for a very long time. And people of South Sudan are suffering, continuing suffering, communal violence, economic meltdown, killing everywhere, rampant in the country, no freedom of expression, same very first values that people of South Sudan bear arm for 22 years, that they will be just and equal. They will guarantee fundamental right. But unfortunately, the dream had died since Salva Kiir became president for South Sudan. Not only president, he became more authoritarian and a dictator. All the dreams of fairness and justice and liberty have died. But people of South Sudan must continue, must stand up, and that's why we have to speak to them for a very long time. Now, fourth extension, because we warned you, we give you a warning that actually President Salva Kiir was actually, my little cousin wrote a comment here not too long ago that actually President Kiir does not believe in election. He believes on extensions because he cannot win any election. Now, making another extension after he failed to implement peace agreement that he have signed in September 12, 2018. Because he was not, and he did not, and he doesn't want to. What he wants to die in power. And we predicted, and we were right, and we always right. Now, before I start talking about all this, I will play clips when he gave remarks. And I will remind you what we always said. I will remind you how he played tactic to deceive people of South Sudan after I play that clip. One more time, أهلا وسهلا أهلا بكم في Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. برنامج اليوم برنامج غير العادة. هنا أردنا إنه نمشي في لايف مباشرة عشان نملك الحقائق لكل مواطن غيور سوداني جنوبي، كمان يقوم يطالب الحقوق بتاعه، لأنه ما زال وما دام سلفا كير هو الرئيس لجنوب السودان، جنوب السودان ما يتقدم، الموت هيستمر، المعاناة هتستمر، ما يكون فيها حرية، ما يكون فيها مساواة، ما يكون فيها أي تقدم وأي نماء، إنما الموت هيستمر. And also I will give you a warning. Later I will play a very graphic on the atrocity that took place in Mayom County in South Sudan, I believe a week and a half ago. Killing, you cannot believe it. And that's why I'm giving you a warning when you watch that clips. We must let people know, and you can see this. And that's why we are saying that the consequences of South Sudan extension, what you expect, what is going to happen when you continue. استمرارية كير يعني استمرارية المعاناة، يعني استمرارية الموت، يعني استمرارية الفساد، يعني استمرارية اللجوء، يعني استمرارية عدم التقدم في البلد. ده اللي هيستمر. كليب ده أنا بعدين بشغله عشان تشوفوا بعيونكم المعاناة والموت اللي هيستمر، والموت المستمر. طيلة هو كان هو الرئيس وما زال هو الرئيس في البلد والآن. But I want to play this clips on his remark that he had made the day that they signed a fake document for so-called extension for another 24 months, where people are suffering. I will play that, and I will exactly explain to you what the tactic is using before I go further and play more and more clips. So watch this. No, that's not it. That's the atrocity. I'm going to play you atrocity later, and I must give you warning on that. Now, this is from Radio Miraya. I want you to watch this and see what happened.
Dr. Riek Machar taking all other vice presidents. Protocol observed. Today, Dr. Riek Machar taking all other vice presidents. Protocol observed. Today, I'm informing the people of South Sudan that the political parties who signed the revitalized agreement to resolve the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan have unanimously agreed to a 24-month extension of the interim period. I want you to understand why we reached this decision. As seen in the unanimous decision across the political parties, we are not extending the transition because I want to stay in the government longer. We don't want to rush you into an election that will take us back to work. I have been fighting since I was a teenager. You can see myself now. Where have I reached to? And how many months are still for me to spend in this world? I have been fighting
Here we go. I intend to play that for you so you can understand. This is not the first time actually President Kiir can play that tactic or he can deceive people of South Sudan. This is not the first time. He have been using it for many, many, many years. And actually he succeeded because the communities that we have, people of South Sudan are very generous. All the communities in South Sudan are very generous in their nature. They are very forgiving people. They give always chance. They give you benefit of the doubt. This is how South Sudanese is, from the north to the east to the west, center, all over. But President Salva Kiir, since he became even a president of Southern Sudan autonomy, he have been using all this tactic for a very long time. أنا قبل كده ذكرت أنا قلت يا أخي هو بيتسلب, which is mean that it's using characteristic of fox, salab, or one. And I want to tell you by the statement that actually have used what he meant to do. If you recall very well, we talk about election. That election is not doable. There is no way you can do election while people in refugees camps, while within the country, people are still in PO, camps within the country. They are in displaced centers in the country. While there is no permanent constitution in the country, while ma fi qanun, there is no, law that recognize all political parties in the country. There is no census in the country. We don't even know how many people we have. Leave that alone. The bigger issue that we have that you cannot conduct an election, and we talked about this 2 years ago, a year ago, that actually there is insecurity in the country. There is communal violence that he has created. People are killing themselves. You go to Gogrial, you go to Tone, you go everywhere, you go to Unity State, you go to Jonglei, you go to Central Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria, where they're raiding the government itself, killing everywhere. How are you going to conduct election while the country actually in insecurity, while people are dying? You created war, and then at the same time you're saying that you are going to conduct election. It's impossible. But they knew it actually. It was just for time consuming. They were talking about it last year. They keep talking about it. We are going to conduct election. We are going to do this and do that and do that, just to ease and to buy time, because actually they succeeded. Kiir actually succeeded deceiving and lying to the people of South Sudan for a very, very, very long time. And I'm not going to go back and talk to you about all this lying. You all know when he talk about Arusha, national dialogue, and go to Rome, and all these things, he always comes with a new plan, to give him a time, to buy time. And I said, you don't have to be genius even to understand what he's doing. Okay? So we talk about it. That election is not doable unless the country is stable, unless we have permanent constitution, unless there is no insecurity in the country. All this combined, and then election will be possible. Then people can be able to speak freely, and they can campaign, they can debate without any threat. Because there is no election, you cannot go and campaign, and the national security, you talk something about the government, you'll be thrown to jail or you're being killed. It doesn't add up. We talk about this, and we knew what was the plan. Actually, we predicted in this forum concerned citizen of South Sudan that President Kiir actually is going to come up again and make another extension. It's not because he cannot implement peace agreement, but he doesn't want to do it because he wanted to remain in power. If he implement peace agreement, and then that peace agreement will throw him away, and he cannot be in power. You see, that's why every time in 2015 did not implement it. It created war in 2016, and then 2018 another peace agreement, and now the time is gone, 3 good years and no implementation, and now he want another one because he didn't. He just want to buy time, and you got to believe this. And this is the time for you. If you were not believing it, you have to believe it. Okay? So there were no election. So for him to explain the clip that I have played, for him to come here and say, oh, I have fought for this country. I have been fighting since I was a teenager 50 years plus. Okay? I have been fighting for you. Okay? Now, what left? How many months left for my life? How many months left for me to leave? He's appealing. He's using the same tactic that he had been using always. But now he's using this tactic differently this time. That actually, I am weak, I am sick, I can die at any time. Maybe a few months, I will die. That's what he has to use right now. Keep in mind, I said this from the beginning, that people of South Sudan are very generous, are very forgiving, are very kind. And he used all this because he knew people of South Sudan are going to let it go always. But you know, there is a time. You can do whatever you wanted to do, but there is a time. You can fool, you can do, but there is a time that you cannot fool all the people sometimes. There's a time that you'll be wake up and say, no, you know, you've been fooling us for a very long time. So now President Kiir coming here and saying that election is not doable. We are not going to do an election that will take us to what? To war. Well, Salva Kiir Mayadit, who proposed the election? Who did talk about election? Who said that the election is the only solution? It's you. It's your government. It's him that's saying that, oh, we are going to do election by the end of this interim period. You all aware of that. He's the one that said that we are going to do election. Well, it was not surprising to me, but because I predicted and I said there will be no election, he's not going to do an election. It was just tactic to buy time. And then when we reach to that time, that's all the thing that he have said to take place. And then he's going to retreat back. He's going to change his mind. He's not changing his mind. It is the plan that he has actually. He will say, no election, because we cannot. Now he's saying that, giving you that the reason that we cannot do election because this election will take us to war. We will go back to war. Well, why should we go back to the war? Because he's the one that is sponsoring the war. He's the one that creating the war. And he know he wanted to create the war. Because hadaful raisi innu yogurt for sultan hada ma yamut. So he succeeded using all these tactics, using all this lie, using all this, deceiving to the people of South Sudan. And people of South Sudan actually gave him a benefit of doubt for a very long time. Even international community gave him a benefit of the doubt. But now, is people of South Sudan going to do the same thing? I doubt. So let's continue with that clips. And he said, I fought for my teenager and my adult life. So look at me now, how many months left? So he want to tell you that I am dying. I'm a dying man. I'm a dying old man. Give me that opportunity, Ajama, until I die. That's what he wanted to say. That's what he wanted to do you. But you know what? South Sudan is not owned by Salva Kiir. If you want to die, why don't you die? Do you believe that Salva Kiir is going to die in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months? No, he's healthy. He's not going to die, but he's appealing to your mind, using that strategy, using that tactic for you to let him get away again. Like what he did last time, he got away, he made extension, he gave money to member of National Legislative Assembly, he gave them, do you remember $40 million before going to sign 2018 agreement? He gave them money to make an extension. And then 2018 signed a peace agreement, gave him the time. Now, he want more time, talking to you that my time, I know my time is up and I should have given this power a long time ago, but you know what? I am dying anyway. Let me, just because in a couple of months I'm going to die. But no, he's not going to die. Do you know what tactic he's using? Do you know what tactic he's using? You know, Salva Kiir Mayardit is from Awan. And most of you, those who are non-Dinka, they don't know what Awan is. Awan is the fox. But it is a name just given to that, tribe or the community, section of the Dinka, Awan. But not everybody in Awan community is using Awan tactic anyhow. But Salva Kiir actually, he's the one that using, Awan tactics. He's the one that using fox, salab. Who will be a salab. He's the one that will be استخدم خطط بتاعت السالب. مع مين؟ مع شعب Sudan Junubi. He's the one that using that always, and actually succeeded for a very long time. Why I'm saying that? To those of you actually who don't know what fox do, when a fox see 3 people or 4 people, okay, walking around the road and he is confronting them, what he does, it throw himself like a dead body. It throw himself like a dead animal. Like you can see really that fox is dead. So don't bother. Because most of the fox, when they are around the house, around the village, they are likely just, trying to monitor, the chickens and crocs, and smaller animal that you have, the pet that you have, to attack and eat them. But and then when you see them, like I said, if you are walking two people or one person even, and then a fox, what it does, it throw himself on the ground and pretend that he's dead. And then when you walk, you will say, oh no, it's okay. It's all of the mate. It's not gonna do anything. Just let him die in a way. It's not danger right now at this, at this time. That's why I'm saying that Salva Kiir is from a one, but he's the only person that in that community using the tactic of a one, using the tactic of Salab. So here we come again, coming to the people of South Sudan and saying that, well, I've been fighting since I was a teenager. Well, a lot of people have been fighting, not only you alone, not only you, Salva Kiir. Many people have been fighting. Dr. Jongarang died. Many people have died. Nas Bola Kog, Nas Karbino Kwanyan Bol, Nas Munu, Nas William Yuan Bang. Many South Sudanese, in the history, they have fought for this country. And some of them are dead, some of them are alive. But why only you always keep reminding people I've been fighting? It's always keep doing this. It's the only one that keep reminding people I've been fighting since I was a teenager. I've been well, there are some people they've been fighting since they were a teenager, but they are dead. They pay sacrifices for us, for generation. That's what a patriot, someone who loves people, can do. When you win and fought, what were you fighting for? You were fighting for the people, right? That's what I assume. But right now, it doesn't seem like that's what you were fighting for. You were fighting for yourself, because you make it clearly in 2017. What is my incentive to sign peace agreement and let the power go? Again, you are doing it again. He's doing it again. That actually I'm going to die, Ajama, using the fox tactic, throwing himself, talking like a weak person. You know what? You can see, and I have been fighting since I was a teenager, and now you can see how many months left for me. With the weak tone, with just psychologically appealing to you, appealing to the people that actually I'm weak, I'm going to die, let me continue. But in reality, it's not dying. It's not dying any soon, Jama. Believe me, it's not dying any soon. I don't know when he's going to die, but we know that he has been playing that tactic for a very long time. He's not going to die. But what he wanted to do, he wanted to continue. He wanted to buy time. There is no election. There is no implementation of nothing. There is no development. It's just only corruption. He just want to write himself another big check, another 24 months, so they can loot more. They can loot more. They can loot more. That's what it is. That is what it is. So he succeeded. He did the same thing. Do you remember in 2016, December 14, 2016, he stood before the National Legislative Assembly في البرلمان القومي وقال عشان هو كان بيتخطى، هو ما داير سلام 2015، ما داير ينفذ السلام. He did not want to implement that peace agreement. That's why هو جاء ومشى جاب برنامج جديد. جاب برنامج جديد قال يا جماعه نحن هنعمل حاجه اسمها الناشونال دايلوج، هنعمل حاجه اسمها الحوار الوطني. والحوار الوطني هي المخرج الوحيد، هي المخرج الوحيد انه يكون في استقرار، انه يكون في سكيورتي في البلد، انه يكون في تقدم في الاقتصاد، انه نكتب الدستور بتاعنا، انه نحن نتفق كيف يحكم جنوب السودان، how this country can be governed. He's the one that doing that. Why? Because he was running away. لانه agreement of Addis Ababa 2015 is perfect. Actually, if it's implemented, will bring stability to the country, and country will move forward. And the aspiration and dream of people of South Sudan will be realized. But he didn't want that. لأنه أساسا أي سلام وأي استقرار يعني إن هذا يستقر، أنا وأنت هنعمل ديبيت وهنتكلم ونقول يا أخي ده البلان بتاعي كده وبلان بتاعك كده، وهنتكلم للشعب، والشعب هيختار الإنسان المناسب، ويختار الإنسان اللي يمثله، الإنسان الما فاسد، الإنسان الما بتاع كوربشن، الإنسان اللي بيقدر شنو بيجيب استقرار، والإنسان اللي بيقدر بيقدمه، ما إنسان القروش بيجيب في جيوان ويقسموه في جيوبهم وعيالهم برا وهم المستريحين، والأرامل واليتامى ميتين وناس تعبانه وناس جاريه، ما في اكل، ما في شراب، ما في علاج، ما في مستشفى، وما في because they are aware, they know that لو في election، لو في استقرار، الشعب هيبدا يتكلم عن ايه؟ هيبدا يتكلم عن حقوقه. لكن افضل the tactic بتاع ماكافيلي انه مثلا just leave them in this dilemma in war in communal violence، لانه they survive when there is communal violence, they survive when there is war. So Kir Mayar one again succeeded again, tried to succeed again with using the tactic بتاع Fox. وانا وريتكم قبل، انا قلت له هو اول يا جماعه ده ما داير لو زول يكون شاطر عشان يفهم، ما في. جاب national dialogue عشان you know to abolish the peace agreement، وفي النهايه ذاته نفس الناشونال دايلوج اللي جابه ده ذاته اللي هو يتكلم عنه ذاته، قال ده المخرج، ده المخرج الوحيد بعد ما الناشونال دايلوج طلب بنتائج مشرفه جدا جدا. 79 محافظه في جنوب السودان كلهم قالوا الحل الوحيد انه ما دايرين سلفا كير في حكم، انه ما داير رياض مشار في حكم، لان الجماعه ديل خزلونا، لان الجماعه ديل خلقوا عدم الامن في البلد، وخلقوا عدم النماء في البلد، وما في خدمات، والناس كلها في الحروب وفي الكلام الفاضي دي كله وتشرد. قام شالوا خطف في درج. كلام صح ولا ما صح؟ تذكر زمان احنا كنا قلنا نقول يا اخي لا لا يا جماعه ما تجيبوا ناشونال دايلوج لان في بيس اجريمنت. السبب شنو تجيب ناشونال دايلوج؟ اخواننا في الحكومه، اخواننا الثانيين السبورتد من الحكومه قال لا لا يا جون كور دونت دو ذات، ناشونال دايلوج از ذا اونلي سوليوشن، از ذا اونلي سوليوشن، از ذا اونلي سوليوشن. قلنا هاي خلاص نمشي معه. النتيجه وقت طلع لان احنا ما بنجيب ضد حاجه بس عشان بس حاجه دي جاي من حكومه، لا. لما النتائج طلع فيه ونحن شايفين النتائج دي كويس، النتائج بتودي البلد كده، احنا عيدناها. انا من الناس اللي عيدته، وانا من الناس اللي جبت ناشونال دايلوج وناقشته في البرنامج، اللي قلت يا اخي يعني دي احسن دوكمنت، دي احسن دوكمنت لو نفذوها في امر الواقع هيودي البلد اللي برا الامان. لكن سلفا كير لانه هو كان بيمس الكرسي، كان بيمس الكرسي انه سلفا كير you know must step aside if South Sudan has to move forward. Okay, so it's not new to me. It's not new to me انه بيتثعلب. It's not new to me انه هو بيلعب تاكتيك بتاع مين الثعلب المكار بتاع اول. لعبوا كتير ولعبوا كتير ولعبوا كتير، نزول بتاع كنيسه لعبوا كتير. kiss hand of you know the late bishop بولينا لوكودو كاردينال جابريل زبير، بكيس اياديهم، بكيس اياديهم انه راجل كويس، انه راجل طيب، بكيس اياديهم لحد ما مشى، لحد ما مشى روما. يعني pretend always pretend، يعني بيتثعلب دائما على شنو؟ على حساب الشعب. استمر ويستمر 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 وما زال يستمر وما زال يستمر. لكن يا اخوه واخوات we should not be surprised. انت لو بتحب السودان الجنوبي، انت لو بتحب ساحل السودان، انت ذاتك لو بتحس بمعاناه، وذا انت قاعد في جوبا ولا قاعد في اول ولا قاعد في يي ولا قاعد في تمبر ولا قاعد في يامبي ولا قاعد في الرنج، قاعد في يونيتي ستيت، قاعد في مايوم، قاعد في بانتيو، قاعد في وين كاكوبو ملكال واو، قاعد في المناطق دي كلها، لو بتحس وعندك احساس قومي بتعب انت ماشي فيه ده، بتعب اهلك ماشي فيه ده، وانا ما كنا حاربنا انه يكون في تعب، حاربنا عشان شنو؟ نستقر ونبقى زي ناس ثانيين، لان جنوب السودان بلد غني ما بلد فقير. ولكن لو بتحس بده then you must then لازم تصحى من النوم، لازم تصحى من النوم، لان الخطه ده كير يستخدمها كتير كتير كتير. عشان كده اليوم we are talking about this, the consequences of South Sudan government extension. أنا وريناكم كتير، تكلمنا عنه كتير، إنه كير هو عدو لهذا الوطن وعدو للمواطنين الجنوبيين السودانيين. ليه أنا بقول هو عدو؟ لأن أنت لو أنت ليدر أنت دائما بتعمل من أجل استقرار، بتعمل من أجل نماء، بتعمل من أجل إنه يكون في تنمية في البلد. أنتوا اللي جيتوا في مكان زول يعين حرامية، زول يسرق ونفسه زول يرجعه، ويسرق ونفسه يرجعه. أنت تفهم من الكلام ده شنو؟ أتفهم هو مؤيد الفكرة، أتفهم هو زار بيسرق لأنه هو بيسرق لأنه بشركاته يعني الشركة بتاعه شغال ARC هاي واي من بور جوبا بور هناك دي شركته شغال فيه شركة بتاع الرئيس. المال العام المال بتاع البترول ما بيورد لخزينة بتاع الدولة، ما بيورد لوين لبنك المركز جنوب السودان قروش بيجيبوا بقصوا في جي 1. انتوا شفتوا كلام زي ده حصل في اي دولة في العالم؟ ما في. لأن الإنسان ده he doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about country, he doesn't care about your well-being, he care about himself. وده سبب اللي خلانا نقول يا اخي رئيس الفكر كل وقت بيجي بيقول يا اخي I fought since I was a teenager. وبينسى على انه في ناس هربوا من زمن هم كان تينيجر كمان. هو بيشوف نفسه هو الوحيد اللي هو هارب من زمن هو كان تينيجر. So عشان هو هارب من زمن هو تينيجر هو بيقول يا اخي انا المفروض نستمر لحد ما انا انوم، لحد ما انا اموت، نوم الابدي، نوم النهايه، لحد ما انا اموت. دي الرساله اللي بوصله دائما. وعشان كده دائما هو بيقهر مواطنين الجنوبيين السودانيين. لما زول يتكلم عن حقه بيقهروك، بيعتقلوك، يدخلوك سجن، يموتوك، ما يدوك مجال كله. ليه يستمر كده؟ ولكن الى متى؟ الى متى انت هتصمت؟ لا ربيتين انا اسكت، لا ربيتين انت هتسكت، لا ربيتين انت هتسكت وحقك مسلوب، لا ربيتين consequences كثيرة. عشان هنا we are giving free ride للرئيس الفكير. more suffering will come. زي ما أنا قلت لكم الأسبوع قبل الماضي إنه any sanction that mean you are extending آلام، you are extending suffering, you are extending corruption, suffering, looting, insecurity, موت. Then you are extending it. لأنه we are more we have self-care, more people بموت, more corruption, more ما في services, more ناس هيكونوا لاجئين، more دايما هيحصل destruction. If we don't have self-care, I cannot predict what's going to happen, but at least احنا كسودانيين جنوبيين we have learned المرارات والوجع الكثير. People are going to be wise enough انه احنا ما دايرين يا اخي في الخط اللي كان ماشي سلفكير ودانا فيه، خط الموت، خط الشق، خط الشتات، خط الفساد. ما عايزين نمشي ذاك. هيكون في تغيير، لكن هو عارف لو في زول ثاني جاء وهيغير المسار الكويسه هو ما داير يشوف، هو على غير الحياه، ما عايز يشوف الكلام ده. عشان كده هو عايز يستمر في الآلام دي، ناس تستمر وناس تتعب وتتعذب هو قاعد في سلطه لحد ما يموت. بعد كده بيقول I don't care. هو قال الكلام ده بيخشبه قبل كده، قال البلد انا بمربط في الوطن يبقى زي عظم. جنوب السودان انت خلاص الموارد تتباع. نحن تكلمنا عن بيع الموارد، بيبيعوا حاجات، حتى طيور، باع حيوانات، باعوا اراضي. اوكي البترول بتاعنا بيقسم. شايف الكلام ده؟ So في consequences. لو الشعب احنا لو سمحنا تاني، ما هو كده كل يوم قاعدين نموت، كل يوم قاعدين تموتوا. لو سمحنا تاني انه يكون في extension ده يستمر، لان انا اعرف هم بيستخدموا القوه، بيستخدموا that mean هيستمر الاعلام، هيستمر الموت. ليف اللون. امبارح كان في مظاهرات في كونيا ماركت، حصل شنو؟ في اعتقال، تم اعتقال الصحفي دينغ ماغوت. اوكي he was covering what he was making covering لمظاهرات اللي كان حصل في سوق كونيا. اوكي الكلام ده نجده في فويس اوف امريكا. رايت في مظاهرات بدات تقوم لان الناس ما قادره تعيش، عشان سلفكير يقعد تاني في رقبتنا. ما خلاص افضل ناس تموت بما انت، لان انت كده قاعد تموت بالبطيء، هو قاعد يموت ناس بالبطيء. اوكي افضل ناس تطلع الشارع. فالناس العقلاء، اوكي الشرفاء اللي عارفين انه احنا ناس كده ميتين، واحنا كده ما قادرين نعيش، احسن نطلع برا ونقول صوت بتاعنا، عشان كده تم اعتقال. وفي ناس برضو اعضاء بتاع PCCA اعتقلوهم قبل يومين 3 في جوبا. اوكي، الاعتقالات مستمره، ولكن ده لا يعني يوقف الابرايزنج زي ما انا قلت وقلنا كثير واعضاء اخرى من المجتمع المدني قالوا الكلام ده، انه ده الحل الوحيد. ده الحل الوحيد اللي يقدر يطلع سلفا كير، لان سلفا كير بيتثعلب وما زال بيتثعلب وما زال يتثعلب، والاعلام بتستمر. وزي ما انا قلت، لو سمحنا تاني، لو انتم سمحتوا تاني انه سلفا كير تستمر مع حكومته، مع رياض مشار ومع غيره، لان الناس دي ما بيهمهم اي حاجه يا جماعه، ما بيهمهم اي حاجه اخوه واخوات، بيهمهم بطونهم، بيهمهم جيوبهم، بيهمهم انه يحوشوا الدولارات اللي بيبيعوا الاويل ده لحساباتهم الخاصه برا، ويطلع عيالهم برا. ده اللي بيهمهم. ما بيهمك انت، ما بيهمك انت جندي بتاع العسكري في الجيش الشعبي، ما بيهمك انت مرة ارمله بتاع بتاع الجيش الشعبي، ما بيهمك انت السكله المرة ابنه مات في الحرب ده، ما بيهمه، ما بيهمه انه منو، ما بيهمه زول يموت في الشارع بالجوع، ما بيهمه زول يموت بمرض، ما بيهمه ناس توج مياديد وناس بيعي يقتل بعض، ما بيهمه ناس بانجان هناك بيموتوا، ما بيهمه ناس مورلي، ما بيهمه ناس اكواتوريا هناك بيموت هناك، ما بيهمنا رواع البقر يمشي هاجموا وديل يهاجموا رواع البقر، ما بيهمه ده كله، لانه نفس الزول، نفس الشخصيه اللي قال يا اخي انتوا هاربوا اقتلوا انفسكم، ولا من زول ثاني ينتظر للثاني بعدين لما تتعبوا and then you come to me وانا بالجيش بتاعي البسيط ده انا بقردن نفسي. يا نفس الزول، نفس الزول ده، نفس المنتاليتي، نفس التصرف، نفس الشخصيه، نفس الزول اللي بيغش فينا، نفس الزول اللي بيغش فيك، القلب بيحوط نفسه بالجيش، ويلا لما تجيو يلا بعد كده قال ما تقول انت راجل ثاني. يا سلفا كير. So in nutshell استمرارية سلفا كير، استمرارية شنو؟ العذاب، ما في انتهاء، استمرارية الموت، استمرارية الكوربشن، استمرارية عدم الخدمات، استمرارية تنشن والديفايدد والفرقة والشتات بين أبناء الوطن الواحد. ده أهو ده اللي هيحصل، ده اللي هيحصل، ده اللي هيستمر، لأنه أساسا كان بيحصل في البلد وهتستمر، لأنه سلفا كير he represent crisis, he represent division, he represent corruption, he represent insecurity, he represent موت وكراهية والجحيم. That's what he represents. We have seen it since he became a leader since 2006. That's what he represents. It doesn't represent anything. It doesn't represent peace. إذا كان ناس برا بوب البابا appeal to him، ناس قاعدين يموتوا، he kissed his hand, he kissed his feet، تقبل رجليه ويديه، ما عشان هو أجمل واحد، ما عشان هو أكثر واحد، ما عشان هو the best، لكن تقبل رجليه ويدينه عشان هو على الأقل بوب يقول أنا متواضع، ناس قاعدين يموتوا عليك الله، بس ناس بيموتوا جيب سلام، خلي يكون في استقرار، خليك man of your word، لما تقول حاجة نفذه، انت لو قلت حاجة للأقل نفذه. أما الرجال فنجح في فعلها لا في الكلام. الراجل دايما بيمسك في كلامه، الراجل دايما من عمله، يعني ممكن تقول كلام وتيجي تغيره. البوب ناس كنيسة في البلد، كنيسة في جنوب السودان كلمت، ما في حد تاني ما يتكلم، ما في حد تاني ما يتكلم، انه عليك الله يا رئيس الفقير، اي حاجه انت بتعمله هيكون كريدت لك انت، لان انت رئيس الدوله وانت المسؤول الدوله. لكن هو he chose to listen to the evils because that's what he believed. he chose انه يكون بعيد من الحق، انه يكون بعيد من الحاجه الكويس اللي بيجيب استقرار ويخلي بلده يكون مستمر ويكون مستقر، يكون في نماء، حتى هو ذاته يكون proud. He chose not to see children in his country that are happy going to school in the morning, smiling, you know, talking about the sacrifices and history that was made ببطولات الحركة الشعبية طيلة 22 سنة. He chose for them to be suffering always. ده الاختيار اللي هو يختاره، ويكون في السلطة، وين يكون يسرق، وإنه يشيل لقمة من خشم جنة. لأن المال ده بتاع البترول اللي بيبيعوه ده ممكن كان منه يعمل منه مستشفى، ويعمل منه مدرسة، ويعمل منه الشارع، أوكي، ويكون في خير للبلد كله. But he chose no. Say no. أنا مستمر، أنا المستحق. لا أنا حاربت من أنا كنت تينيجر، وقاعد يقول كلام ده بالواضح، لأنه أنا حاربت من زمان. شنو؟ أنا تينيجر. فعشان كده any extension اللي هم يتكلم عنه ده يعني عذاب، ده يعني استمرارية ما كان يستمر. الحاجة اللي كان بيحدث هي هتستمر. وانتوا شفتوه خلاص. يعني عندك صحفي قبضوا، كان في كفرج بتاع المظاهرات لأبناء الوطن الغيورين الما دايرين الوضع ده تستمر. العملوا مظاهرات لأنه في قلاء في جوبا، وفي قلاء في كل المناطق في البلد. الدولار وصل 100,000 دولار واحد، وصل 100,000 في البلد. اوف كورس لما الدولار يكون غالي، والتاجر القاعد في البلد لما يجي يجيب بضاعه برا، اجيب بضاعه بشنو؟ بيجيب بضاعه بدولار. ولو دولار غالي هو هيعمل شنو؟ هو هيغلي السعر، لانه هو هيمشي يشتري بالدولار الغالي ده. لان سلفا كير زي ما انا قلت لكم he chose crisis. هو ما داير البلد يستغر، لان البلد لو مستغر، لو ما في حرب الناس هتزرع. لو الناس هتزرع المحصولات اللي بنزرعوه لوكالي هيجوا في الماركت ويباع بسعر رخيص، لانه حاجه لو بيزرعوه في ياي ولا بيزرعوه اراوند جوبا ولا في يرول هيصل جوبا بسرعه، والتكلفه بيكون شنو؟ بيكون رخيص، بتكلفه رخيص. لكن لا، هو ما عايز استقرار، هو ما عايز راحه نفسيه لشعب جنوب السودان. عشان كده تشوز انه في كياس يكون في حرب، وشنو الناس يجيبوا حاجات من برا وحاجات غاليه عشان الشعب زي ما يفكر في التنميه زياده، وما يفكر في سلطته. الشعب ما يفكر في سلطته، لان الزول شنو بيجي على مثل قال علم الجوعان ايش؟ الزول الجوعان دائما حلم شنو؟ ايش؟ لان بيهمه انه ياكل. انا بطنه لما يكون فاضي ما بفكر ثاني، ما بفكر في حكومه، ولا يفكر انه ياكل ده يمشي ولا ده ما يمشي، لانه بفكر بده ياكل. دي المرحله اللي هو وصل فيه الشعب. he did it intentionally. مقصود، عمله مقصود deliberately for you to suffer. But you don't have to suffer my dear brothers and sisters. لا، you don't have to suffer، لأن البلد ده بتاعك. Salva Kiir doesn't own the country. Salva Kiir is not the only person that fought for this country عشان يجي يجيب لك يقول لك يا أخي أنا حارب من زمان، أنا تينيجر وأنتوا شايفين أنا بقيت كيف، يمكن how many months I'm gonna live. No, he's not dying soon. He's not dying soon. ما يموت soon. He's just using the tactic of facts. That's what he's using. عشان هو يقعد more وانت تسفر وجناك يتعب واهلك يتعبوا اهلنا يتعبوا. That's what he wanted to do. عشان كده زي ما انا قلت استمراريته هيكون في كوارث، هيكون في حرب، هيكون في موت. وعشان كده انا وريتكم قبل الحرب مستمر. قبل انا اواصل الكوارث انتوا شايفين الموت في كل مكان. يعني الصحفيين قبضوهم عشان just they are doing coverage. وده حق مكفول في الدستور article 24 South Sudan Constitution بيقول عندنا حق في التجمهر، عندنا حق for protesting، عندنا حق. لكن لا، سلفا كير عشان هو خايف، هو داير يكون في السلطة. الصحفيين يتقلوا من ده. This is not the beginning. It happened before and continue. لكن it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. الحرب مستمرة في البلد. يا شايفين ستيفن بوي قايم بالحرب في يونيتي ستيت، في حرب في ايسترن اكواتوريا، سنترال اكواتوريا. عشان كده قبل انا قلت I wanted to show you. I'm going to play a video, but I must give you a warning. It's very graphic. Very graphic. لكن انا داير why I want to play this, because I want you to know this is what we can get with Salva Kiir. With Salva Kiir we get corruption. With Salva Kiir we get death. With Salva Kiir our people die daily. That's what we get. So if we continue, like it make an extension now, that's what we're going to see more. We are going to see more. I'm going to show you. أي زول بموت whether من جيش الشعبي ولا whether من rebel ولا they are all South Sudanese. كان هو متمرد ولا كان هو من جيش حكومة ده ناس بتاعنا. ده ناس بتاعنا. ده ناس بتاعنا. لكن بوجود سلفا كير ناس بتاعنا هيموت. هيكون في موت. I'm going to give you a warning. I'm going to play a very graphic video. Very graphic video. If you have a child sitting by you, I don't want children to watch. Okay? It is graphic. I'm playing it, but I'm playing it because I want to let you know this is what we can get with Salva Kiir. As long as Salva Kiir in power, that's what we can have. That the suffering going to continue. It's graphic. I give you a warning. Watch.
أنا يا ضبنا جاكري يالي gar ko ya yentiya wannan won rama yanga ها أنا ما برا كان كادوا على ركن
này còn thật thật ra đâu cần này tập tin để ra thì bây giờ nó bùi giặt quay ví dụ nó ăn lên một cái
nằm đó là mấy hoàng thì luôn nè hoàng này đây đây
đây là hoàng đây hoàng đây
really bad. Into شفتوا بعيونكم. It's really bad. That's what we have been getting for a very long time. That's just a part. People dying in Unity State. ده كان convoy بتاع حكومة. انتوا عارفين طبعا ستيفن بوي كان عمل اتاك لمايوم كاونتي وقتل شنو؟ الكميشنر. اوكي؟ شقيق بتاع مين؟ لان الكميشنر بتاع مايوم ده شقيق بتاع توت كاو. وعشان ما عندنا دولة فيها مؤسسات. This is what we can get. سيد الرئيس وتوت كاو قام عملوا شنو؟ قام رسلوا قوات من غير وزير الدفاع يعرف، من غير تشيف ستاف بتاع الجيش يعرف. وزير الدفاع وشيف ستاف ما يعرف. رسلوهم عشان يمشي ينتقموا. عشان يمشي ينتقموا من مين؟ من ناس ستيفن بوي اللي ضربوا يونيتي مايام كاونتي وقتلوا منه وقتلوا كوميشنر. عشان كوميشنر ده شقيق بتاع توتكاو المستشار الامن القومي للرئيس. Look what happened لجيش الحكومه والمعاهم. ناس دي قاموا عملوا كمين. عملوا كمين وقتلوهم. وانتم شايفين الناس اتحرقت كيف. Do we deserve that as a people? Do we deserve to die like that? To die like that عشان كير يقعد في السلطه مع توتكاو ويقعد ويجيبوا قروش بتاع اويل ويقسموا للناس and they bribe people and buy people. Do people of South Sudan deserve that? يموت like this? Is that what we have been fighting for? Of course not. That's not what we have been fighting for 22 سنة. No. We fought for decency. We fought for justice. We fought for equality. We fought for development. يكون عندنا school مدرسة. We fought إنه الناس يكونوا أخوان وإخوات. حتى chicken ساكت بتاع جيران بتاعك لو راح تيجي تقول يا أخي يا قلواك ولا يا دين whatever chicken بتاعك راح يا هو بجاي. This is what we've been fighting for. لكن إخوة أخوات, my dear brothers and sisters, this is what we can get. The graphic photo that I show you, that's only from Mayom County, Unity State. These are what we can get with Salva-Kiir. زول يموت بالجوع, زول يموت بالحرق, زول يموت بشنو. You don't deserve to die. But you can die because Salva-Kiir is in charge. Because Salva-Kiir caused that conflict among people. He is in power. He is a dictator. People can die in Numili. قبل زمن انتوا تقولوا سلطان في النملي قتلوا. ناس عملوا مظاهرات. You can die because you wanted to come out and speak about your right. يا اخي السير غالي. نحن نزرع في البلد بتاعنا ما نجيب حاجات من برا. دايرين استقرار. لكن تطلع برا تتكلم, you can be shot at you and die. That's what we can get with Salva-Kiir. With Salva-Kiir, our children can be raped and no justice. That's what we can get with Salva-Kiir. With Salva-Kiir, another في حكومة, ministers, directors, governors, they can own hotels. They can own and they can employ foreigners. عشان الناس المهلين ما يعرفوا إنه الأملاك دي بتاع مين. They cannot employ you South Sudanese. They can employ Gymnasts, Habash, Eritrean, Ugandan, Kenyan. They can do that. So you don't have to know. That's called money laundry. تشوف هوتيلات كبيرة في جوبا وشنو مناطق كويس وحاجات دي كله الناس تقول foreigners own this. They are not owned by foreigners. They are owned by cliques, corrupt-minded South Sudanese allies of Salva-Kiir. That's what we can get. And you continue to suffer. Is that what you want? Is that what we want? As a people, is that what we want? No, of course, that's not what we want. I know many of you within the country, you are not allowed to speak. But we can speak for you. But you know what they want you to do? Get up, stand up for your right. That's what we want you to do. That's what I want you to do. Because you deserve better than Kiir. You deserve decency. You deserve better life. You deserve انت يكون دق لغة نعيش تشتغل يكون دق لغة نعيش جناك يشتغل يكون له مدرسة نحن نشتغل يكون لنا الشارع نظيف نحن نشتغل يكون لنا موية نظيفة ما ممكن ناس في جيوان يا يكونوا يشتغلوا حاجات دي كله وما زول واحد يقول يا أنا يا حاربت للبلد ده من زمان أنتي نجار أنتوا حاربتوا. It doesn't work that way. So we will continue to play you all this atrocity عشان أنت تشوف. This is what we can get. And it will going to continue. But I want to give you good news, though. The good news, though, South Sudanese, majority of South Sudanese, now they start realizing that, you know what? We gave him benefit of the doubt for a very long time. But time has come. Time has come, and we must rise up. Time has come and we must speak. Time has come and we can no longer be afraid. Time has come and we must confront fear itself. fear الموجود فينا ده، الخوف الموجود فينا ده، لازم نحن ذاتنا نقف ضد الفير، ضد الخوف. لأن كل ما في خوف كل ما نحن ما بنمشي قدام. لكن نحن لازم we must be against the fear because fear itself is a problem. لما أنت تكون خايف the problem it will hold you back. لكن لما ما تكون خايف تتكلم صدرك واسع في حق بتاعك you will be able to achieve. You'll be able to accomplish the mission of justice, the mission of security in the country, the mission of stability, the mission of peace and harmony, the mission of decency as a human being. So I challenge you. I challenge myself that I must confront fears because, people from close to me, from my family, they used to tell me, what are you doing? Why are you making noise? Why are you talking? You are a young man. You cannot do this. You are not the only one that can talk about South Sudan. There are people who will talk about Sudan. Who are those people? There are people like me can talk about South Sudan. I am a South Sudanese. Who are those people? Why not me? Oh, no, who are those? What do they have? They have tails? They have horn? No. If they are the people like me, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. So I confront fear, whether it's my uncle, whether it's my auntie, whether it's my whatever, I confront them. I confront them long time ago. I confront them 7-8 years ago. That Anna Jonkor, I must confront fear. Now, if you are a decent uncle, a decent auntie, you would not make me shut up because I'm speaking truth, because I'm speaking what affecting people. And then from then they realize that, oh man, this son, he has a right. So we should not just say anything. Uncle Tani choice داير ياكل ماكير ولا كده ده يقول يا اخي ده انا ما بيعرف ذاته. You deny me, I don't care about you, because that's not going to change anything. But what's going to change, what's going to make it worse is when you deny the fact and when you deny the truth. You see? So my brothers and sisters, I challenge you that you go and challenge the fear that you have. You challenge it. حتى السلفة كير اللي قاعد يقتل فينا ده اللي قاعد يقتل فينا هو هيموت. Time will come. Don't you see that? أنا بموت. If I did not die today, I will die tomorrow, or next month, or next 2 months, or next year, or several years, or many years. It would happen. It's something that I cannot run away from. See? But al-haq yuqal. You must say the truth. And you must liberate yourself from mental of slavery. Al-Salfakir cultivated. لأن استعمار ذهني. دخل الاستعمار ذهني في نفوسنا في نفوسكم كلكم. So this is what we are going to get. We are going to be worse. Life is going to get worse. More people are dying. Even though he's talking, oh, I'm not going to do election. Election is going to bring war. No, relax. Election doesn't bring war. Election brings peace and harmony and democracy, and people will live in harmony. But before we get there, people can stabilize the country by stopping the war and communal violence, because you are sponsoring those. You are training militia. You are training nas min bull و min وين عشان يمشي يقتل أهلهم. You sponsoring the harp. You sponsoring the way. But if you stop that, and then people go election, and then there will be no fighting. But you, because you are the one that is sponsoring them. You're giving gun to this guy. You're giving money to this guy. Go and chase them. Go and shoot them. Go and kill them. He's not a leader. He's the one that is sponsoring all the war in the country. So we can be disabled, and he can continue to loot, and he continued to loot. So challenge yourself, please. This is your assignment. Challenge the fear that you have in yourself. الخوف الموجود في نفسك ده انت لازم شنو تعمله تشالنج. تقول يا نفسي بطل الخوف. I know there are people always they are fear they خوافين، لكن لما نشوف ناس تانيين يقوموا يقول يس يلا الكراود بزيد. بيبدا من زول واحد، الزول واحد شجعان، بيبدا من زول واحد يتكلم نبرين 3 4 5. الخايفين التانيين دول بيجوا، لان لما نشوف جروب ماشي بيقول يا اخي ما طالما الناس كتار خلاص let's go together. But that's what it is. So challenge that fear in yourself. And when you challenge that fear, so we can avoid all this, the consequence that the consequence that you allow Kir to continue, because there will be a lot of consequences. We got all this for a very long time, but now we are getting more and getting more and getting more, and we may not have even a country, because this country may die with him, because he want to die with the country. He's using Pharaoh tactic. Yeah, and he's treating people of South Sudan like a slave. When he die, he want to bury with his slave. Al country day, that's what he's doing. شوف اي كلام نحن بنقوله في كونسنت في ساوث السودان، الناس كانوا بيكذبونا بيقول ناس دي الناس كلام فارغ وناس بيتكلم ساكت. they realize that كلام اللي احنا قاعدين نقوله صح. they do. هم بيعرفوا الكلام ده. في ناس قاعدين في J1 ذات، في ناس قاعدين وين around J1 they know we are telling the truth. حتى هم بيقول انت عارف ولا يا اولاد الكلام اللي نقول ده كلام صح. انت وين؟ تذكر زمان انا كنت في عرس، انا كنت مشيت زوجتها، هم قاعدين يفتشوا فينا. ليه يا جونكو؟ يموتين بيت، يموتين ميديو، يموتين بيت. Yeah, and but I want you too. I just cannot talk and you are not acting. Let's do it together. Yeah. See? Because they were saying that. So this is what we are going to get. We don't want to get more consequences. We can avoid them by removing him, by doing uprising, by standing up for our rights. That's the only way. There is no any other alternative. How many peace agreements have been signed? Bring this in, take this out. Bring this in, just for them to stammer. Shuva will tumbara gadi gul, oh, my brother Pagana Mom, my brother Thomas Chirillo. Come, join me. Oh, why did they rebel in first place? Is the problem resolved? Mafia Musawama. You will not accept anything else, and you should not accept anything else. National dialogue. Document. That's the solution for the country. And I said it numerous times. That's the solution for the country. That's what it is. National dialogue, it was initiated by President Salva Kiir. He's the one that initiated. Imagine, he initiated, we say, yes, that's what we want. National dialogue, then makhraj del balad. Let's go and just implement national dialogue. That's it. أي حاجة اللي احنا دايرينه هنا هنلقى جوا هناك. أي نوع الحكم اللي احنا عايزينه هنلقى جوا هناك. نتفق كالشعب. نطلع جماعة ديل. العوارض ديل. الناس اللي عاملين عارض ديل. الناس اللي عاملين looting ديل. And they are the one that warlord. They are sponsoring the war. You get 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. Then you go كون لك جروب اديم قروش امشي اضرب جماعه امشي اضرب ديل عشان الناس يكون في كياس ويجي يقول يعمل اكستنشن عشان هم يستمروا. That's not acceptable. Wake up, my brothers. Wake up, my sisters, my countrymen. I'm not doing this to get anything. I'm doing this because I love you. I'm doing this because we love our country, because we care about our relatives. We care about generation coming. That's what it is. That's why I'm begging you, challenge the fear in yourself. Challenge the fear in yourself. Don't be afraid. Keep having faith. Don't be afraid. We will get there. We will get there. And Kir will be out. And then South Sudan is going to be a country that you're proud of. And your child will be proud of. We can do it. And we will do it together. We'll do it together. But also, that's the good news that I said. People of South Sudan are realizing that we must, and change must take place. And the bigger good news also, the friends of South Sudan, those who supported us during the struggle in 80s, in 90s especially, the United States, the Canterbury, the Christian worldwide, especially in the United States, in Texas, in Virginia, they retired some US generals, US senators. You know what? The friend of South Sudan, I must say this to you. If they did not support us, we wouldn't get there. We wouldn't have a country that called South Sudan. They did their part, and they did their part big. They did their part big. That's why we had CPA, because of their pressure that they exercised. They did. They helped us achieve CPA, because CPA didn't come through fighting bullet only. Yes, Jeje Shami, Haraka Shabiya, they fought, and then there is the backup, right? Then international community, especially the United States, the Christian worldwide, the Vatican, they said, no, we must support these people. They did, and they worked hard. That's why we had CPA. No one can deny that. If you are denying that, the man, you have a problem. Maybe, I don't know, mental problem. Maybe it could be mental problem. No one can deny that. Sudan Lifeline, they fed our refugees. They fed even Jeje Shabi. They fed even, Lost Boys knows this. Lost Boys Sudan, they knows this. Sudan Lifeline. I know this very well, Dr. Castello Garan. He knows this because he was part of Sudan Lifeline. So people can leave. They know this. So the good news I'm saying, our friends who supported us, who said, no, Lord, people of South Sudan, they deserve better. They deserve better. They supported CPA. They supported Haraka Shabi. They supported SPLM. You know, they supported, they pushed al-Bashir until Bashir signed peace agreement. And then they support and they push until we have a referendum. And then we voted overwhelmingly. And we have a country called the Republic of South Sudan. With their effort. And Shab, Sudan Masha, and voted for separation. Our friend now is saying that also they said, they wrote a big letter, a big open letter. I read that letter yesterday. Big letter, open, big letter to President Salva Kiir. That President Salva Kiir, we wrote you a letter in December 2021 that please, we supporting you during the struggle, but we are still supporting you and we want you to bring peace among yourself. So people of South Sudan can be stable. People of South Sudan can have decency. They put a lot of bullet points on their first letter. President Kiir did not respond. Those are good friends. They wrote a letter in 2021, but President Kiir did not respond to them. He threw them under the bus. President Kiir chose to make a deal with the devil, while the angel is looking. He did, because that will advance his interest. He make a deal with the devil while the angel is looking. The churches, they were watching. Everyone, good faith, they were watching. And he's making a deal with the devil that no democracy, no transparency, no peace and harmony, no for all this. Yes, for myself, because I was a teenager and I fought with this country and I spent all entire my life. So now I can deserve all these things. I want to be in power. I want to be like a king. I want to rule South Sudan until I die. These are the things that ego that Salva Kiir has. While the angel is saying, no, don't make that deal with the devil. Because these are the people that you fought for. You fought for them. Don't. And he said, no. And he said, no. And he continued with Chinese. Poisoning the environment in unity state. Don't care about human rights violation. He made a deal with the devil, the same regime or Khartoum. same Islamic regime in Khartoum that actually declared jihad on us, people of South Sudan. Declared jihad. Do you remember when they say that? Or if you go to South Sudan and you kill them, you will go to heaven. You remember what our late hero, Dr. John Garang, have said to them when they said that? Do you know what Dr. John Garang said? He said a very beautiful and famous statement. He said, إذا كان جنات تمر عبر جنوب السودان لما وجدتمونها هنا. I love this statement. If the way is the way to the paradise, go through South Sudan, we wouldn't be here. We would be the first people to be actually there in paradise. When the jihadist regime, Nazatrabi and Dale, when they declared that and said, Sudan, they were fooling Sudanese youngster in the north, in Mujahid in Tatarji Jannah. Yongara ngalo lo kana janna bi murra abd junub Sudan. أنا ما كنا موجودين هنا. أنا كنا بنكون أوائل الناس لأن أنا في المقدمة. أنتم ما هتلقون هنا. It was the most beautiful statement by our late hero, Dr. John Garang. Guess what? After he died, guess what? The devil that we were fighting, Salva Kiir made a deal with that devil. He made a deal with that devil. Why? To remain in power. He made a deal with that devil. The devil that killed us. The devil that killed Deng Nial. The devil that killed 2.5 million precious souls. Salva Kiir made a deal with them. I don't know what happened. You have forgotten? No. Because you want to be in power. He made a deal with that. At least if it was with Chinese and Russian, but not deal with the devil that was fighting us yesterday. At least people wouldn't be wondering, those Christian brothers, those who supported us until we get CPA, they wouldn't even be wondering. But he did. And this is what we are getting. And this is what we continue to get. But guess what? Because that devil continued to advance everything in its own interest, guess what now? They impose discriminatory fees for our oil to be transported through our own pipeline that we pay for it. The pipeline that's from Unity State, from Upper Nile and Unity State, all the way to Port Sudan, it is our pipeline. We pay for it. It pays for our money, our oil money from South Sudan. We own that pipeline. But the devil that we were fighting not too long ago, do you know what he did? Because we don't have good people in charge of our affairs in our country, in South Sudan. You know what they did? They always demand. You remember the agreement in 2012? They came out with something called financial transitional fee, the assistance to Sudan, and we pay for it. It was nearly $4 billion. South Sudan paid for it. And guess what they did? They imposed discriminatory fees for the oil of South Sudan to be transported. How much we are paying? $25 per barrel. يعني أي برميل يمر يمشي بور السودان عن طريق السودان $25 برميل. They are not even smarter, team بتاع Salva Kiir. They are not even smarter. Why? Because ما بيهمهم كم. المهم البسيط اللي بيجي من هناك ده بيقصوا في جيوان and they are okay. وانا ضربت لكم مثل قبل كده قلت دولة تشاد. You know Chad? They have the oil. You know where Chad transport their oil through which country? It's through Cameroon. And you know how much they charge them for a barrel? 50 cents. Only 50 cents per barrel. But our oil from South Sudan going through Port Sudan, do you know how much they charge us? $25. That's why I call it discriminatory fees. They meant to do it because they are dealing with idiot and dumb people. Those who are in charge, they are not. Why I say that? Because you always have to have a plan B. You have plan A and plan B. You have to have a plan. If you are a government, you don't have to be a government to have plan A and B. Do you know why? Because we have enough money since 2006 until up to now. We had a lot of money. We have billions of dollars flowing from international community. They supported us. What they should have done with this money, they would have built refineries, just only 4 refineries. You don't need to build a lot of refineries. 4 refineries in the country. Build one in Bantu, one in Awil, one in Juba Zato. It's okay. Okay. One in Rang. All across the country. Or just do 3. One in Greater Barakazal, one in Upper Nile, one in Equatoria. You know what you do? You produce a lot of crude oil. And instead, to break, to make that devil know that at least you know something, you produce oil and you refine it locally. You refine the oil locally. By refining that oil locally, you don't have to transport a crude oil. Al-Kham, Al-Kham. You don't need to. Because now you refine all the oil locally. You just will transport a little bit. So by refining it locally, now you're creating more employment opportunity للناس. لأن كل refinery their low employees ما بيقل عن 10,000 عامل ولا more than that. ده مواطنين جنوبيين بيشتغلوا. Not only that economic plus لناسك. Why? Now you are not going to pay $25 transaction fee. You are not going to pay it. لأن الناس ديل ذاته العاملين في شطارة ديل العاملين discriminatory fees. Do you know what's going to happen to them? They are coming to buy the oil. It's ready for you. لأنه ماشي يشيلوا بس يكون في عربية لأنه you refine it. Okay, they will come and buy actually ready oil from us. There is no transaction fee. ما لهم بس يمشي بالتناكر كم 60 40 2000 تانكر في يوم ماشي السودان لأنه محتاجين شنو؟ محتاجين oil. Now they are getting oil ready. لأنه خلاص oil ready. You are avoiding economic hardship. القروش انت كم تدفع وده $25 you are not paying it. Again, Ethiopia قاعد يجيب بترول من وين؟ اللي هو بيشغل بو حاجاته في البلد بيجيب من دبي. والcost is high. الcost is high. التكلفة عالية. ليه؟ لأنه بيمشي عبر وين؟ المحيط الهندي. لما يجي من هناك في transportation fees وشنو والنقل ووقود. لكن لما يكون oil is ready refined in South Sudan, you just go through Gambela. هيشيل 5,000 تانكر في يوم بيمشي بيدخل إثيوبيا. Oil ready. The same thing to Kenya. The same thing to Uganda. That's ازدهار اقتصادي. للناس اللي عنده عقول. You know when you do that, what is going to happen? The one that actually making discrimination against you. لأن we break away from them. That's why they are putting discriminatory fees. لأنه عارفين جنوب السودان deadlock ما عنده مرفأ نهري ما عنده مرفأ بحري ما عندنا port. That's why they're doing this. They are not going to do it. They say, oh, wow, they are smart. Look what they did. Okay, forget about it. Denga into Junubin Ubaria into them. Forget about $25. How about I do it 50 cents? Because now, mind you, he's going to accept that deal. And now you are exporting crude oil big time. In order to produce more, you are producing more, doing that. Speed up. And you are doing the refined oil. So in the guru jai, cash jai, in both ways. And that's كتيرين شغالين في بلدك. And you are, oh man, you have more money coming to account. And more money coming to account, more money for developmental project, more money like freeway, more money like schools, more money like hospitals, more money like retirement, like ناس بتعمل في جيش, more money like widows, more money لكل زول. لكن Salva Kiir, with him, we will not get that. With Salva Kiir, you don't get that. You will never get that. Lanu, he's not that type of person. is a type person that wanted to get to himself. He want to get everything to himself. Get everything to himself, and that's it. That's what we get. So they fell, and they fell miserably. So friends of South Sudan, to continue with that, friend of South Sudan, now they said, we sent letter to Salva Kiir in 2021. Salva Kiir did not act. They mentioned a lot, and they sent another letter a couple of weeks ago to Salva Kiir. They said, Mr. President, Your Excellency, we wanted to remind you that we sent you a letter before, and we talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do this to your people, implement peace agreement, but you don't want to do it. But we always have a benefit of doubt. That's why we're supporting you. And keep in mind, those who send the letters, Christians worldwide, okay? Some US senators, retired, some from European Union, international community, and they said, you know what? You should have done this. It's for your own interest, for the interest of your people, but you did not do it. But you know what we can do? We cannot keep watching. We cannot keep watching. And you continue to make a deal with the devil. We cannot continue. And we cannot continue watching and support you. And we will not support you again. People of South Sudan have suffered. We will continue to support people of South Sudan as we supported them. Zaman fi struggle. لحد ما هم قدروا شنو they achieve هدف إنه يكون عندهم دولة. يطلعوا برا من regime, Islamist regime اللي كان عذبهم, اللي كان قتلهم. إحنا we supporting them. These are our friends saying that في جواب بتاعهم. Now, because you chose to be like this and you don't want to change, you don't want to do anything good, and we are human too, and we must feel like human, and we continue to be like a human, and we will not, and we cannot continue to see people of South Sudan are suffering. We will not. So we will be on the side of the people of South Sudan. And they are asking him particularly, as we ask the people of South Sudan, Inno, please live with your legacy. You and Riek Machar, Etlaw, you fell, and you fell miserably. And there's no way you can fix it, because you did not fix it 2006, 2013, 15, 16, 18. You did not fix anything. You did not show any progress, and you continue to go down. And we are afraid that actually even you are going to lose South Sudan, that people fought for it, and 2.5 million died for it. And we don't want to see that, and we don't want to see people of South Sudan continue to suffer and continue to suffer. These are the friends of South Sudan. And that's why I'm saying, my dear brothers and sisters, that's the good news too. They supported us yesterday. When they were supporting us, they were not supporting one person. They were not supporting Salva Kiir or Dr. John Garang or Riek Machar. They were supporting all entire people of South Sudan. And now, lo musiba biga mashi le Junub Sudan muadinin da Junub Sudan, and then they have a right to say, you know what, we waive our support in the government there. That's why you see this extension. They rejected it. And you know that Traker say no, because they are not going to do anything. It's another game. It's just another game. It's another game of looting. And they want to start looting. That's what it is. Why is what Beijing go like no? They're not there yakulu. They're not there to stammer takul. So that's the good news. And that's the good news, my dear brothers and sisters, that you have people actually still remember you, still talking about you. It's still saying, we know your pain. But they cannot come and knock your door and say, I'm Shishare. They cannot do that. They can speak that this person actually has been suffering and is going through difficulties and so and so and so. But you have a role that to challenge the fear. Challenge the fear among yourself. الخوف الموجود في نفسك ده. You know, حاول تعمله challenge. And if everybody speaking on your behalf and saying that you are suffering, I know you cannot speak up, but you challenge that fear and you go to the street, and Salva Kiir will be out, and your life will change, and your children's life will change as well. That's what needed to happen. That's what we need to happen. Without that, nothing can happen. But you will make a difference. Your voice, your standing, your confrontation to a dictator will make big difference. And that can bring a drastic change. Lana Kirda, Intelo Ayantalo, Le Bukura Gale, Anna Bintazo Galashan, but my way mood, Mama Rova mood bitin. I hope the man already can who be at the Salab is using Salab Makar plan. Harakat Dawan, you give leg a gulega into, and a haraptan umri, kuna teenager. Wasn't to Shafin, them into Shafin and walk the damn on Chekli cave, maybe by like a month. I don't know how many months left. That's the tactic. You know, I'm dying. Don't remove me. I'm dying. Don't remove me, please. Don't remove me. He's used it for a long time. But you don't know. You may even die before him. I may die before him, you know, and people are suffering. And why do we have to wait anyway to wait for him to die? With the haggana, the haggan. ليه حقك زول شايل حقك وقاعد فيه وقاعد يعذب ناس وقاعد يسرقوا ليه why do we have to wait until he die and then to claim our rights? No, we don't have to wait for somebody to die to claim our rights. We take our rights now, whether you like it or not. We take it. You must take your rights right now. You know. So any extension has the consequences. Any extension would bring more chaos. As we have more chaos, that's what's going to happen. هيكون في استمرارية العذاب والأعلام. So I don't want to continue by myself. I want to give an opportunity for South Sudanese who are here, who wanted to participate and add their perspective. What I can do, I'm going to post the link. I want to post the link so you can participate. So let me go ahead and post the link, and you'll be able to weigh in if you do. I will post the link here. And actually, if you are watching from the YouTube, you still can participate as well. Because as long as you click the link will lead you here. That's what's going to happen. Okay, let me do this. No. Okay, now I pin the link. I pinned the link down there, and it is your opportunity. And come and weigh in. Okay, so the link is pinned down here. It will not move anywhere. So if somebody wanted to come and weigh in, you are welcome. Anyone want to weigh in, you are welcome to weigh in. Yes. Maybe I will do a little bit of break. Not only break, I'll bring this. No, we already did. But I can do a little bit of break. I will play some clips while I'm waiting for people to weigh in. Okay, I'm still waiting. Even if one want to weigh in, I can give you that opportunity to weigh in. And while I will just play some here. So go ahead and share the live show, please. So many people wanted to be able to watch it. They can. Mhm.
Maana gasa lo kwesi kana dera ita munu. Gana fata ba kan ma fasa ana duwala rasa kum. To wala ku fata dinar gi mutu bara. Ku fata dinar pe gesi ni gesi go budu lakin gi mutu bara. To wala tala bara. Aje ta tala bara. Agila wa ya noti. Obduru butala ga talata fo. Ai taf arabe katil kasi tala jata alfi. Aje ta tala telefon wodilo. O tala tusumia le bioganda kamana wodilo. Uganda selling. Wedilo padlo kan pound talata 16 pound kaman. Ay zaman albi garaje tay wedide ko wale o bada duru buraje tay o rubu tetin.
Purabudu.
Ay o duru talata kajina kaman. O figu abel de luku bara.
Ayo marhaba. Alhamdulillah ya kuna gana sal gana dugule muhafiz.
Barsi agale tala. Ana biga ana tala ke gale tala bak gurusal fando de talata 16 de. Ana ge tala guruzere gale ke dana tala guruzo de ma bidur bana je karaje tay. Ke dana dakale foko jwa ko wala na
Mujalo kana dunia la kula wuji la dinanka.
انت كان ساعتها انا اليتيم تبشيل اكتر من ربنا وانا بقول لسه الفقير ساعد يا اليتيمين امهاتنا ماتوا في بلد ما في بلد تاني ابوهاتنا ماتوا في بلد ما في بلد تاني ساعدونا باكل ساعدونا بمدرسه اننا يا مستقبل تاع بلد انا بقول لكم أشوف أبوي قاعد في التابلة ده ما هو برا ده يالتا ساوث سودان كله ده ما يال بتاع برا أنا بقول لا يزول كبير كده ربنا يبارك ولم يدنكم في يالدل ده ما يآخر بتاع في تاني جايين في شارع ده ما قبيلة واحد كل قبيلة في هنا وشكرا لكم.
So this is what we can get as long Kir rule this country. Dema de allow zol gulekum what you can get exactly, because that what you have been getting من 2006 للآن استمرارية ضرر موت insecurity everywhere. So with this new extension there will be consequences, but I was saying that there's a good news that friend of South Sudan أصدقاء جنوب السودان اللي وقفوا معانا في time to struggle, now they are waiving their support completely and saying that we will stand with the people of South Sudan. And the people of South Sudan, these are the people that we supported for the good cause. But Lufizo, yeah, bigger, you want to take them back, as he has been taking us back for a very long time, to continue suffering. Then they said we waive our support and we will put our support in South Sudan. In a nutshell, we must have a different leadership in the country, a leadership that care about the people, leadership that care about people of South Sudan, not leadership that appoint their spouses in position and divide the money in J1 while the South Sudanese are going to bed every night hungry and no school and no hospital, while the journalist is killed simply because he's writing piece of article advising the government that they are doing something wrong, while also arresting journalists because the journalist is speaking or covering, the concern of the people of South Sudan. And that's why I'm asking my dear brothers and sisters, if you are really concerned, like I do, because we must be concerned in our country. We must, any concern that we are concerning is toward our people. Our people are suffering. Our people are going through difficulties. So this is the time for you to challenge yourself and challenge the fear that you have. You must stand up and stand up for your right. We will not see the light at the end of the tunnel if Salva Kiir and Riek Machar are still, in charge of our affairs. Any extension, this extension, that means extending the suffering, that means extending the insecurity, the killing and suffering of the people of South Sudan, and more for more and more and more. But we are better than that. We are better than that. We have a right to live decency. We have right to live like other people, فالكلام ده أنا دايركم تاخد في راسك تمام لأن أنت you are the one that paying the price, and if you are paying the price, there is no way, you should not stand up and say enough is enough, because it has been going on. And above all, we call upon all South Sudanese, learn unity. Our unity is paramount. Without unity, we will not be able to achieve anything. And we keep repeating it. Put the differences down, because people of South Sudan, they are not lacking actually leaders. We have leaders. We did not run away of leaders. We do have leaders, but we have people who are in the way. They don't want people to come together, and soon we come together and move them out of the way. We are going to have productive, smart leaders that actually can plan for this country, and then people of South Sudan can have peace among themselves and harmony. That would require, we fought together. We were in it together. During struggle, we had our own one common enemy, and we were able to succeed, and we were able to get what we want. And now we one more again. We have one common enemy, and the common enemy of the people of South Sudan is the Kiir regime. Is President Kiir himself. He is the enemy of the people right now. There is no any other enemy. There is no any other enemy. He's the one that coming and making a deal with the devil that fought us, the devil that we fought for a very long time, and decided to be far away from the people. He didn't even want to hear anything, So please, you need to stand up. You need to stand up. You need to stand up. I know many people, they've been writing to me about Atanyuwagatany. I don't think so, that to say anything about him. I remember in Canada in 2018, I believe so, it was August 4th, in a Awil community. And of course, Atanyuwak came there. Atanyuwak tried to divide all the Awil community, communities all over the world, whether in Australia and the United States. That's what he has been doing. He has been fooling kids too, because they are fooling one another. He has been fooling him. You know what? Give me money. I will go to Awil community and I will make them support you. And that's why you have seen him traveling all over. You go to Canada, you go to Australia, you come to the United States and go and have a meeting. And what he does actually, he cracked the wall. You go there and divide them. You go there and divide them, because people of Awil, they are very unique. They don't like division. They can have their own political differences, but they don't like to divide themselves. But Atanyuwak tried to do that, tried to buy people, dividing them, because Salva Kiir have a lot of concern. That he needs support from a Awil community. Now people are asking me that what happened to this Makertiar or Makertiro, whatever you call him. He got fired, by the way, guys. So it's not a new thing. We knew it. I told him, I challenged him in 2018 when he said the John Corey, this young guy thing here, he knows something. He's sitting here in the West making live video, just talking bad about the country. He shouldn't be doing that. And I confronted him and I said, Well, you were there yesterday. You used to write articles, about Kir and about how they fail and all these things. But soon you got appointed and become a press secretary. You just shut up. Why don't you just get your paycheck and keep quiet? Because the mission is not accomplished yet, and we are still fighting for the people of South Sudan. And keep in mind, no one was loyal to President Kir like Paul Malone. Paul Malone was the most loyal general ever in South Sudan. And Paul Malone actually is the one that Kir is still president until up to date. He's the reason that Kir is still president. He was a governor, but he just, left the gubernatorial and he came to Juba and became chief of staff, and he went there to Bor and he was able to fight, the SPLM-IO. While the SPLM-IO, they were actually, you have the White Army, you have whatever you call it, they were marching to Juba. And that time Kir was shaky. He doesn't know what to do. But Malone said, I got this. And he fought for him. And I told him, look what happened. He threw Malone under the bus. Not only that, Malone's daughter died in Nairobi. And the body was taken to Awil, and he did not even allow Malone to go to Madinga Awil to go to witness the burial of his daughter. Look at that person. Do you think now you are going around trying to divide the community and talking good about him? Do you think he's not going to throw you under the bus? He will throw you under the bus. I said this in 2018. And this is what happened exactly. He can throw into the bus. Actually, he doesn't need even presidential degree that he has been removed, because this is not a constitutional position. It's a press secretary. That's what we know. But Atanya always pretend to be a spokesperson. That's why he has conflict with McQuillan, because they challenge one another on that regard. So if people are asking, he got out. I know he has been crying, that he has been removed. But you know what? He deserved it. He was there for money. I don't know. Maybe anyone that in the government he has looted, maybe he looted enough so to survive. But I saw a text message that he called President Kir actually like 10 times. This is the first time in my life to know that President Kir has a WhatsApp account. He called him like 10 times. President Kir didn't answer, and he was saying that, President, that this is the only source of survival. I want to be able to have sort of survival. He's appealing to President Kir. He has done something horrible that I've heard. I'm not going to break that story here because it's really nasty and ridiculous. That's why Kir fired him. I know if he was just stealing money, maybe he would have fired him and then he can bring him back. But I don't know if he's going to reappoint him or not, because what he has done, he has something to do with their own, affairs within J1 there. So, they share things sometimes. So that's what it is. But I'm not going to talk about it here. But I tell you what, I know you're watching. You remember 2018 when you said that John Kor, people like John Kor everywhere in Juba, my shoe will be dirty with his blood, knowing that if I was in Juba, he can kill me at any time. He can talk to national security and I can be assassinated. Of course, because he has done so with sons and daughters who tend to speak up, and then he tell on them. You remember when Tig Mayadit said that people of Madinga, they keep crying and saying that Akolkor is the one killing them. Why don't you ask Atanya Gatanya? Atanya Gatanya is the one that saying this guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. And then they got round up and it's slaughtered. So I believe him. Yeah, when he said that, if he was in Juba, then my shoe can just be dirty with his blood. But you know what? I'm here. I'm in America. Land of brave, home free. I can speak, and I can speak to our people so they can know their right. That's with the Tanywagatang. It's fired. Who knows? He can come back. That's the thugs. That's the government of thugs. You can go this way and can appear somewhere else. But with that, I really, really appreciate you for watching tonight. But I don't want you to forget the message of today. Challenge. Fear among yourself. Because the fear is the one that's holding you back, the one that's holding people of South Sudan back. I don't want you to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Keep having faith. We will get there. Believe me, we'll get there. We will get there. Kir will leave, whether you like it or not. Kir, Makwenwed, Tutkew, Riek Machar, all these crooks, who are looting, who are now signing up again to continue another 24 of looting. And later, they will call it re-extension. Now, it is the extension. But maybe they will call a re-extension. Who knows? And that's what we don't want to, because he wanted to rule until he died. So thank you for watching. I didn't see anyone that wanted to come and weigh in, but that's fine. We can have more opportunity. Next time you can come and weigh in as well. Maybe people are not ready, or the time that we conducted this live broadcast today is not reasonable for them. And, our majority of people actually are watching from Juba, because when I went to see the statistic, I figured out that 55% of our audience actually are watching from Juba, which is a good thing. I know there is a lot of comrades, they don't watch when there are people around them. They go to their room and then start watching, because they don't want to know, hey, you're watching Jonkor, you can be a problem. Don't watch, and Jonkor got a good kalam farag and president, Dema kalam farag. These are the facts. Keep watching. Brothers and sisters in Juba there, keep watching. All around the country, keep watching. And go ahead and share the video so the message can get. Challenge the fear. If you are in there in the government, I know there are some people there, they have a heart, but they are afraid. But I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to, to challenge the fear. And when you challenge the fear, you will know that there is no need. We have more in common, and we have more to share. And with Salva Kiir, actually, you're going to get more. Now he's giving you with the spoon, but you will get it constitutionally. You're right, you will get it without somebody giving you a hard time. Now people are giving you a hard time because you are stealing, but you will get it. It's yours. But Kiir is making it difficult. So thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day. Okay. Let me conclude with this. I'm sorry for the dead air.
Dr. Riek Machar taking over all other vice presidents. Protocol observed. Today, I'm informing the people of South Sudan that the political parties who signed the revitalized agreement to resolve the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan have unanimously agreed to a 24-month extension of the interim period. I want you to understand why we reached this decision. As seen in the unanimous decision across the political parties, we are not extending the transition because I want to stay in the government longer. We don't want to rush you into an election that will take us back to work. I have been fighting since I was a teenager. You can see myself now. Where have I reached to?
That's a piece of crook. There is no way you can say that you have been fighting until you become since you were a teenager. There's more South Sudanese fought when they were teenagers and they died, and the children were died. People were burned, in Luaks. I remember in my village, people were burned in Luaks. You are not the only South Sudan that deserve, anything. There are more South Sudanese. So thank you so much, my dear brothers. Kiir is using the tactic of Fox, Awan. Of course, he's from Awan. And that's why he's doing that. Pretend that he's old and he's dying. So let me continue. But if you let him continue, and then the suffering will continue. Thank you. See you again next week.